Hello there, everyone, and welcome to a new video. You might hear some background noises because I am recording during the day, and it gets pretty hectic around here during the day. So today we're going to add a new short story to our GrayBird tale collection. As I said before, you do not need to read the entire collection to understand each or something, but I would greatly appreciate it, and I do hope you enjoy it. So as you can see here, we have story 1, story 2, story 3, which means today it is supposed to be story 4. Let's give it title like this so that it shows up here. But this one is a bit special. Thing is, I know it says story 4, but as I'm writing this, as I'm recording this, I haven't yet posted the collection online, which means I can still change my mind on the order of the stories. And what I want to do is make this 4th story the first story. So basically, when you open the collection, the book, in the link down below, you'll see that the first story is not They Remain, but instead this one. And that's because I already have a title in mind, because usually we start by planning it with the general, planning the story, the general idea, and then talk about the character and all, but this time it's a bit different. I already have a title for a story. The title will be Welcome to GrayBird Town. And it's gonna be, it makes sense that it will be the first story in our collection, even though the rest won't have much relation to it, aside from the place, the town. And for this one, I do want to get an element to link from one of the stories, even though again you do not need to read the story that will be referenced here, you would still understand it. A small part of it will be referenced. And I choose Jack in the Corner. A piece of it will be referenced. It won't give out everything, it won't spoil Jack in the Corner for you, but when you read it, you'll get the hint. Now, something else that will be different about this story will be the character. Usually, in They Remain, or Jack in the Corner, or the Ostium, there is a character, yes, but we focus more on the phenomena, on the happenings around them, and how they interact with what's happening. Instead, this time I want to give the character's personality more importance in the story. Because in the first stories, the characters were caught off guard, and they were out of their element. They were thrown into situations where they had to react quickly, act fast, think fast, or even though they knew the town they were living in, they still were kind of surprised. This time I want to make the character live in their element, which means the phenomena that I'm going to discuss in this story will be something that our character is kind of used to, and it does have an impact on their personality, on the way their personality was shaped. So the phenomena will be part of their day-to-day life. It's something that they are used to, even though it does take a toll. As for the gender, I think this time I'm going to make them male, and I think I have already decided for their name. Their name. His name is Charles. Alright, for the word count, I think this time it's gonna be a bit shorter. I know, for example, ostium has been very long, I mean, not very long, but longer than the rest. But this time, I think it's gonna be between 1K and 1.5K. Because there isn't really much to tell here. It's just basically an introduction, a taste of what this town has to offer, if one may say that. So I already have an idea about the beginning, some sort of an introduction. For example, here will be a reference to the second story. Our Charles will be reading something about it in the newspaper. As he waits for his shift to start, he has an otherwise normal job, but in GrayBird it's peculiar. So I'm gonna say peculiar job, but that's only because it's in GrayBird. In any other town, this would be like completely normal. His shift starts early in the morning, and his job is to sit at the entrance of the town. So there is only one entrance to the town, and he has to sit there very early every morning and wait. Now, what does he wait for? He waits for arrival. He waits for arrivals. Now, I believe I mentioned in a previous video something along the lines of not many people come to visit GrayBird Town. It's not easy to enter GrayBird Town, and I said that there was a reason, but I never really explored why. And not that I'm going to dive very deep into this, but I am going to give an overall picture of the reason why. Like, what does it look like when people try to come to GrayBird Town? Visitors, people who have never lived there, or they don't know what to expect. for strangers to the town. People that don't know what to expect and don't know about the weirdness of that place. Now, why is his job important? Why does he have to greet these people? Why does he have to wait for them? He needs to wait for them in order to provide help if needed, and it is almost always needed. Most of those who take the road towards GrayBird never set foot in it. They end up dead. The very few that succeed don't really fully make it. They always have something missing. They're either injured physically or mentally, but usually the damage is unseen, which means mental. That is why Charles' job is very important. Now we get to the middle. What did I mean by most people who succeed in coming to GrayBird don't fully make it? They have like mostly mental damage or physical injuries. We'll see that in the middle. We will not explain what does that to them, but we'll get a glimpse of the aftermath of one unlucky visitor. Charles takes his post as usual, and he spots someone walking towards the town. He runs to them and makes an assessment of their state. He gets to know their identity and concludes that they received a great deal of mental damage after caring for the unlucky visitor. They get to speak a few words out. And that will give us a glimpse my god, glimpse to whatever they saw on their way to GrayBird. They are incoherent, and after those few words, they become, or they completely shut down. They don't say another word. Now, the ending will talk about how did this exchange or interaction affect Charles's morale, and that will explain bits of his personality and state of mind, and mostly his attitude towards life. So we'll talk about how that event affected Charles, what impact it had on his personalities, and explain his attitude towards life, his words, his thoughts. The beginning of the story. Personalities, oh my god. Sometimes the mistakes I make don't make any sense. Alright, and we will conclude by laying this out as a reason for the lack of visitors in town. Visitors coming into town. Now, the goal of this story is simply to give a taste of, again, of the town heights. So we're not going to give any full answers to what happens. No full answers to what happens to the visitors. Oh my god. What happens? Happens to the visitors on the way. It's just meant to be intriguing. Intriguing enough and creepy. Because my plans for this phenomena goes far ahead, goes beyond this. I have planned basically a story that will unfold in multiple chapters instead of one shot. I have planned a small volume. I don't want to say book, a small volume, a number of chapters that will have a direct link to this one. Basically, I will explore this event, this happening, and I'm still working on it. I haven't decided yet where I was going to post it, but I have an idea. Although it's still in progress, I will explain later. I will give information about the platform, as I will do to the other platforms that I use, and you'll understand everything in due time. I think this is going to be it for this story. As you can see, it isn't much. It's just a very, very vague layout to this opening story. As I said before, I want to make it the opening to the collection. So this story 4 will be story 1 in the collection when you open the collection book, I guess. How many times I've said the word collection? Should have a word count. Okay, so as I said before, the title will be Welcome to GrayBird Town. As an introduction to this universe, I want to make it clear how heavy the atmosphere is all around the town, all around its surroundings, not just inside the town, and the impact it has on people that live there, and not just when they're caught off guard by one of the phenomenons that lurks there, that happens there, but also in their daily life. So this is why there isn't going to be much action in this story, but we're going to see life in GrayBird through the eyes of Charles. Of course, there are other people in town. Clearly, it's a town. We'll explore more of that later. Maybe in another volume, in another series, or in next short stories. For now, we have 4 of them, and I would like to make 10 of them. So I already have an idea about the closing story, the last one, story 10, I suppose. So all I'm still missing is 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that is it for this story. If this is your first video of me you're watching, then you'll simply find this story that we planned here, this story that we planned today in this video. I'll find a link to it in the description. However, if you've been here before and you watched my previous videos, then you probably already have read the story. I hope so. I gave a link to the collection in the previous video description. So I hope you gave it a chance. I hope you did enjoy it if you already took a look at it. Anyways, I am going to stop here for this video, and I really hope at the very least that you're relaxed while watching it. Maybe you did something in the background, I don't know. I wish you all the best in your accomplishment, if you have any these days. I wish you to have a good day or night, depending on your time zone. And I do hope you're staying safe. I also hope that we'll see each other in the next video, if you're still interested by my content. Anyways, I suppose that all I have left to say to you now is bye-bye.